All right, so you've got your commercial driver's license, your truck is ready, and your business plan is locked in. You're ready to hit the road, right? Well, not so fast. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're tackling a hidden landmine that trips up countless new trucking business owners. See, there's a paperwork trap out there, one that's so incredibly specific and so unforgiving that it can literally stop your brand new operation cold before the engine even turns over. I've seen new owners spend hours just meticulously filling out their applications, feeling completely confident, only to get hit with a rejection notice that makes zero sense to them. So today we're going to dive deep into the FMCSA's business name matching requirements. We're going to unpack exactly what this punctuation trap actually is, why the government system is brutally strict about it, and how you can navigate this whole process like a seasoned veteran to get your authority approved without those agonizing delays.
Take a look at this number right here, 90%. That is just a staggering statistic. 90% of new authorities fail at this specific hurdle, simply because they don't copy their business name perfectly across all of their FMCSA documents. I mean, let that sink in for a second. It's not because they don't have the funding, or their driving records are bad, or they filed the wrong type of application entirely. Nope, it is simply a failure to copy and paste. When you're submitting your MCS-150 form, which, by the way, is essentially the foundation of your entire operating authority, any tiny variation in how you write your business name compared to your other filings is going to trigger an automatic rejection. We are literally talking about basic spelling, spacing, and punctuation here.
Because here's the thing, it's absolutely crucial to understand the massive financial stakes at play. When your application gets flagged for a name mismatch, you don't just get a quick little, hey, please fix this email that you can resolve in 5 minutes. No, you actually lose your place in the processing queue. You have to resubmit, and that adds weeks, often 30 days or more to your timeline. And during those weeks, your commercial insurance policy is probably already active, you're bleeding out premium payments, your truck payment is still due every month, your living expenses certainly don't take a pause. You end up with this massive, expensive piece of equipment sitting completely empty and parked, burning through your capital, all because of a single rejected form. It's a complete, yet totally preventable disaster.
Section 1. The Invisible Trap. FMCSA's Automated Matching.
You know, most new owners just assume there's a real human being reading their application with, some common sense. That is definitely not the case. Look at this example. On the left, we have John Jones Trucking Co. Inc. Notice the period after Co. and the comma right before Inc. Now on the right, we have John Jones Trucking Co. Inc. with absolutely no punctuation. To you, to me, to any reasonable human being, those are the exact same company. But the FMCSA utilizes a brutally strict automated matching system. It cross-references your MCS-150 with your OP1 application, your insurance documents, and your BOC3 filing. To that automated computer system, that missing comma and period mean it is looking at two completely different, totally unrelated entities. It instantly flags a mismatch, and bam, your application is halted.
Now, the system handles certain characters in a kind of quirky way, and knowing this is absolutely critical. According to official naming guidelines, some punctuation actually gets stripped out by the system's database. So, for instance, an apostrophe or a hyphen might just vanish, meaning Bob's Rent-A-Car becomes Bob's Rent-A-Car internally. But, and here is the huge catch, you still have to enter it exactly as it appears on your legal paperwork when you file. Furthermore, things like ampersands and abbreviations, those must be flawless. If your legal name is John and Sons with an ampersand symbol, but you type John and Sons spelling out the word and, you're rejected. If you type out company instead of the abbreviation co, when your paperwork clearly says co, rejected.
You absolutely cannot guess. Whatever you do, do not type your business name from memory. Relying on close enough is a guaranteed one-way ticket to a 30-day delay. The FMCSA explicitly requires that you spell, space, and punctuate the business name the exact same way each time it appears on every single application and filing you submit.
Moving on to Section 2, the rookie mistake, legal name versus DBA.
Okay, so this is where the actual data entry usually goes off the rails on the form. The MCS-150 has two distinct fields that consistently trip people up. The first is the legal business name. We need to define this strictly right now. Your legal business name is the exact name, including all punctuation, suffixes, and abbreviations, precisely as it appears on your official incorporation certificate, your partnership agreement, or your tax records, period. This is the unchangeable foundation of your application. It is your business's true core identity in the eyes of the government.
The second field is your doing business as or DBA name. So let's say your legal incorporated name is John A. Doe, but the name you actually paint on the side of your truck is John's Trucking. The secret that agents rarely explain is that tons of owners mistakenly put their DBA name into the legal name field. And if you do that, the The system checks it against your incorporation documents or your tax ID, sees an immediate mismatch, and rejects you on the spot. If you have a DBA, it must only go in the DBA field. Never ever mix these two up. Your legal name field must be the anchor that perfectly matches your underlying official documents.
Section 3, the Veteran's Blueprint, Step-by-Step Verification.
All right, now that we know exactly where these traps are heading, let's talk about how to beat them. Here is the exact 4-step playbook that the veterans use to ensure their filings sail right through that automated system perfectly. Step 1. Physically locate your official incorporation certificate or articles of organization. Dig it out. Step 2. Copy the legal name exactly as it appears. Every single period, every space, every comma, and paste that identical text into your MCS-150 form. I repeat, do not try to type it out manually from memory. Copy and paste it. Step 3. Call your insurance agent. Before they file your BMC-91 form, verbally confirm they have the exact same spelling and punctuation on file. Step 4. Call your BOC3 process agent and do the exact same thing. Do not let any third party submit documents on your behalf until you have personally verified they're using the precise carbon copy legal name.
Which brings us to Section 4, the rescue operation, fixing an error.
But what if you're listening to this and realizing you already made this rookie mistake? Well, your place in the queue might be lost, but don't panic. The situation is fixable. If your MCS-150 was rejected because of a name mismatch, you must immediately submit a name change request using Form MCA-5899. That's your official rescue document. Now, along with this form, you can't just ask nicely, you've got to provide proof. You'll need to submit your government-issued ID along with the supporting incorporation documents, things like your Articles of Amendment or Certificate of Incorporation that prove your exact legal name. And just a quick note, if your application is pending, there's no fee for this. But if your authority was somehow already active and you're changing it, a fee does apply.
The crucial thing here is adhering to this strict recovery timeline. Once you file the MCSA 5889 and your ID on day 1, it generally takes up to 48 hours for the correction to actually appear on the FMCSA's safer system. But you are definitely not done yet. Once the FMCSA issues your re-entitlement letter, a 30-day countdown clock starts ticking. You have exactly 30 days to update your BOC3 process agent filings and your insurance filings with that newly corrected name. If you fail to synchronize those supporting documents within that 30-day window, the FMCSA can and absolutely will revoke your operating authority entirely. It's a total domino effect, so you've got to act quickly and thoroughly.
Let's wrap it up with Section 5, Final Document Filing Checklist.
Let's consolidate everything into one final review. This checklist right here, this is what separates the owners who get approved quickly from the ones who bleed money waiting around for months. First, physically locate that official incorporation certificate. Second, strictly verify you are putting your legal name in the legal name field and your DBA only in the DBA field. Third, meticulously check all commas, periods, and spacing. And finally, actively confirm the exact spelling and punctuation with both your insurance agent and your BOC3 process agent before anything is submitted. Spending just 5 extra minutes cross-referencing this checklist will literally save you weeks of agonizing delays and thousands of dollars in.
Source gives us a really clear answer on the fee structure for this fix. If you are a brand new applicant like Dave and your application is still pending when the rejection happens, there is no fee to change the name. It costs $0. A sigh of relief, right? However, the rules do state that if your authority is already active and you need to process a name change using this form, a fee will apply. So catching it early, while it's still pending, saves you that administrative charge, even if the downtime itself is already costing you. But hey, submitting the form isn't the end of the story. Once you set the correction in motion, the timeline completely shifts.
Which brings us to Section 2, the 30-day ticking clock.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Here is the exact progression from the moment you hit submit. On day 1, you submit your Form MCSA 5889 with all your proper documentation. From that point, our source notes it can take up to 48 hours for the name change to officially appear on the FMCSA's safer system. That is 2 whole days of waiting just for the computer system to process a comma. Crazy, right? After that update finally processes, the FMCSA will issue what is called a re-entitlement letter. This letter is your official green light that the name has been fixed in their database. But getting the letter, that's actually just the start of a completely new countdown.
30 days. That is the number you absolutely undeniably must remember.
After the FMCSA issues your re-entitlement letter, you have exactly 30 days to update your BOC3 process agent filing and your insurance filings with the new, correctly punctuated name. This is a strict deadline, guys. There is zero room for error here. If you think the problem was solved just by getting the re-entitlement letter and you forget to tell your insurance agent about the updated exact legal name, you are in major, major trouble. The source is very explicit about this. If you do not update your BOC3 and insurance filings within this 30-day window, your operating authority can be totally revoked. Can you imagine? Surviving the initial rejection, filing all the paperwork, waiting for the system, only to lose your operating authority completely because you missed this one deadline? Ugh. So we've talked about how to rescue your business from a rejection, but let's be real. Wouldn't you rather just avoid this entire nightmare completely?
That leads us to Section 3. Copy, paste, prevent.
So the crucial point is this critical pro tip pulled directly from our source material. Do not type out your business name when applying. Just don't do it. Do not rely on your memory. Do not assume you know where the comma goes. Instead, open your incorporation certificate or articles of organization right there on your computer. Highlight your legal name exactly as it appears, including every single comma, period, and space. Copy it. Then, simply paste that exact text into your MCS-150, your insurance filing request, and your BOC3 filing. Do not change, add, or remove a single thing. Just copy and paste. Once you've done that, call your insurance agent and your process agent and confirm that they have that exact same pasted name on file. These incredibly simple actions guarantee precision alignment and, as the source promises, will literally save you weeks of delay.
Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway from Dave's little cautionary tale. Most new owners skip this copy and paste step, and they deeply, deeply regret it later. Don't be one of them. I want you to look at your own paperwork today. Look at your filings. Is your business name truly, character for character, exact across all your documents? Or is a single comma currently standing in the way of your business hitting the road? Double check it right now and keep your freight moving.
Wasted premiums and lost revenue. Now, before we finish up, I do need to clearly state that this explainer is strictly for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional legal or filing advice. I'm not a government agency and I'm not a licensed filing attorney. Every single trucking application is unique and requirements can and do shift, so please use this as an insider's guide, but always verify your specific requirements independently on the official FMCSA website. You are ultimately responsible for your own application's accuracy.
We've covered the hidden traps, the automated systems, and the veteran's exact blueprint for bypassing the headaches. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to keep front of mind as you sit down to fill out your forms. Are you really going to let a single careless comma park your truck and drain your bank account for an entire month? The choice and the attention to detail is entirely in your hands. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Get those forms perfectly matched and stay safe out there on the road.